FYF Sports, man. It's Lamont here. We back with another podcast video today. Today we got some breaking news out of the NBA in regards to LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers ahead of their game 2 against the Houston Rockets. Before we get started today, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell to the video. Again, we love all the engagement. The channel is growing faster than we ever imagined, so we appreciate everybody who's definitely coming out to support FYF Sports. But today, we're going to go ahead and get straight to the news. There are some reports coming out today that LeBron James was seen visibly frustrated, complaining about the Lakers' fourth quarter lineups. I also had my complaints of not just about some of the lineups. It was more so about the usage of certain players. For me, it was Rajon Rondo. Rajon Rondo played 25 minutes in Game 1 versus the Rockets. The problem with that is what it does is it gives you less shooting. And whenever you have less shooting on the floor, it allows teams to just sag off and clog the paint. And with LeBron James, Dwight Howard, and Rajon Rondo all in the game at the same time in the fourth quarter, along with the Morris twin, who's also been struggling, you absolutely have zero shooting on the floor that can be respected by any NBA team. So with that lineup on the floor, any NBA team is going to clog the paint. They're going to allow you to beat them from the outside. And they're going to allow guys like Rondo. They're going to allow guys like Danny Green, who's been struggling, Morris, and LeBron James. They're going to allow those guys to chuck up threes. They're going to collect those long rebounds. They're going to get into transition, and they're going to punish you. So it makes no sense to load your lineup with non-shooters because it gives the defense an enormous advantage, especially with guys like Rondo. He doesn't have any rhythm right now. He hasn't played much at all. He's played one game after coming back from hand surgery. To come back and straight into playoff basketball and play 25 minutes, I think that's extremely irresponsible, Frank Vogel. I feel like you should go with the guys who got you there. Alex Caruso has done a great job defensively, and he's done a decent job at least helping space the floor because he's been able to make some of those three-point shots. Even in this game 1, even in game 1 against the Rockets, Caruso played 16 minutes, had 14 points and 4 assists. I mean, that's extremely efficient. You know, that's getting an assist and a point almost every minute. I mean, he's efficient on the court. Rondo, only 8 points with 4 turnovers. Again, in 25 minutes of play. Not very efficient. He's being ball dominant. He's not moving the ball. He can't really jumpstart the offense because once the ball leaves his hands, he's just a player standing on the perimeter who the Rockets don't have to respect. To break down an example of this particular issue, and this is one of the plays that left LeBron James highly frustrated in the fourth quarter. We're going to get to this play right here, and this is going to give you a very good example of why the Los Angeles Lakers cannot play Rondo with LeBron James along with guys like Dwight Howard, even Morris at the same time, because Houston is just going to clog the paint and they're going to make those shooters, guys like Rondo who has no rhythm, who hasn't been playing basketball, they're going to make them make shots. And we saw Rondo struggle in game 1. But I'm going to go ahead and play this clip really quick.
Speaking of haircuts, his brother's in charge of all the barber shops here on campus in the bubble. LeBron puts his shoulder into Jeff Green, lost the handle.
Now, I'm gonna run through this play again. I'm gonna run through this play again just in case you did not see it fully. And again, I want to just break this down to especially people who don't understand how video is watched at the NBA level. So we're going to go ahead and try to break this down. We're going to dumb it down. Now, as we see here, Rondo has the ball on the wing. Swings it to Morris. Now, we got Rondo and Morris, 2 non-shooters. Morris has been struggling to make shots. Rondo's coming back from hand injury, no rhythm. We have LeBron James at the top of the key. Morris is swinging it to LeBron now. Morris swings it to LeBron. Now we have Morris in the low post. We have Rondo in ball side corner. Now, with Rondo in ball side corner, all right, and I want you guys to see this right here. So Rondo's in ball side corner. If you see my mouse pointer, Rondo is ball side corner. That means it's his responsibility to stay in that corner because he needs to make his defender make a choice between contesting the drive if LeBron James drives, or stand on the shooter and keeping the floor space. Now, if this was a high-level three-point shooter, like, you know, Rockets have a lot of three-point shooters. The Warriors, we've seen a lot of teams with really good three-point shooters. Let's say this was a JJ Redick or somebody like that, somebody who could space the court. Eric Gordon, who's guarding Rondo, would have a really tough decision to make, especially when you know LeBron James is one of the best passers in the NBA and he's one of the best finishers at the rim. He's going to put a lot of pressure on Eric Gordon to make a decision on, do I stay or do I help? In this particular situation right here, Eric Gordon has done his homework. He knows that Rondo has just come off hand surgery. He knows that Rondo does not have any rhythm. He knows that Rondo has been having a bad game up until this point in the fourth quarter with 4 turnovers already. So we're going to watch how Eric Gordon defends on this particular play. And this is the reason why you cannot play Rondo and LeBron James at the same time, especially when we look under the basket and we see a Dwight Howard who's another non-shooter as well. All right, so we're going to go through this play again. Now, on the drive, if we look on the drive, you guys, on the drive, and I want you to pay close attention, where's Eric Gordon on the drive? Eric Gordon has fully committed 100% to doubling LeBron James on this drive. He's essentially going to be forcing LeBron to kick this pass out to a non-shooter in Rondo, right? Which he was not making the threes today. His rhythm was not there. He was turning the ball over a lot. So now LeBron James has to decide, do I go try to score on 4 people? Because if we look in the paint right here, we have Dwight Howard clogging the paint. Russell Westbrook's in the paint. PJ Tucker, Austin Rivers are both in the paint here. We have 2 defenders, Eric Gordon, and I think that's Jeff Green on LeBron James. On LeBron James's drive to the paint, the Houston Rockets can essentially have 5 defenders inside of the paint because they don't respect any of the shooting. This is not to mention the fact that we got Morris also down here on the block, not spacing the court. We have Dwight Howard also on the block, not spacing the court. And we have Rondo, a non-shooter, who's the only guy on the perimeter. All right, only guy on the perimeter that LeBron James at this point in time cannot trust. LeBron James cannot trust this man to make a shot in the fourth quarter. They're down 12. They need to mount a comeback. This is the exact reason why you cannot play Rondo at this point in time right now. Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, what about playoff Rondo? Rondo's this, Rondo's that in the playoffs. Playoff Rondo is a thing of the past. Do I need to say it again? Playoff Rondo is a thing of the past. He's older. He's dealt with a lot of injuries. He's dealt with multiple hand injuries. All right. He hasn't played bubble basketball. He doesn't have any rhythm. All right. He's playing in a new atmosphere. And you're asking this guy to come out into a playoff game and make big shots in the fourth quarter. If I'm Frank Vogel, I'm going to go with the 5 that got me there. I'm going to go with Caruso because I got there with Caruso. We lost game 1 to the Trailblazers. Caruso was a big part in them winning the next 4 games with his defense, with his ability to make threes. I'm going to go with guys like Danny Green because I know at the end of the day, Danny Green's made big shots in the fourth quarter with San Antonio, with Toronto, even with the Lakers sometimes. He's made shots. He has a proven track record of being able to help space the floor and make shots. This is why you need a guy like Danny Green on the perimeter out there. This style of basketball that you see here is why you cannot play Rondo on the court with LeBron James. And again, there's a lot of people out there. Especially TicketTV, saying that the Lakers need to start Rajon Rondo. You cannot start 2 non-shooters. All right, you cannot start 2 non-shooters. And in the fourth quarter, you cannot have 4 non-shooters on the court at the same time against a Houston Rocket team that's been rated #1 defensively while in the bubble, or at least in the playoffs. The Rockets are showing you right here that they're going to make the other guys make shots. The other guys, the LeBron, they're basically saying right here, LeBron James is not going to beat us. Rondo's going to have to beat us. If Rondo makes this 3, we'll live with it. Morris, extremely low basketball IQ. He should be in this deep corner. As Rondo lifted up out of this corner, Morris should be trying to space the court. Morris and Dwight Howard are now both on the post. So we have all 5 Houston Rocket defenders in the paint. And because the Laker players that are on the court in the fourth quarter right now, as they're trying to make a run, because they're non-shooters, they cannot help LeBron James at all because there's no floor spacing. And when you allow a team to pack the paint like that, you're just going to allow for tough shots, a lot of contested layups, or they'll just foul and send LeBron James, a very poor fourth quarter free throw shooter, to the foul line where he struggled, where he's shown a history to struggle from the foul line. So again, guys, we gotta get out of this 90s mentality. And again, it all comes back down to this 90s mentality. When they say we gotta attack the rim, when they say we gotta, give the ball to the big man on the low block. I really want you, the way the Houston Rockets are playing defense right now, you guys take a look at it. Please take a look at it. The way the Rockets are playing defense right now, and I'll zoom in on it. How do you expect anybody on the Lakers to feed the post when the Rockets are committed to making sure 5 guys are in the paint on every drive, especially when guys like Rondo and Dwight Howard are in the game at the same time? And even if this isn't, even if this is a JaVale McGee, even if this is an Anthony Davis, if they're in the paint on a drive, you're clogging the paint. You're allowing them to bring more defenders into the paint. This is going to be an easy box out when the shot goes up for Russell Westbrook. All he has to do is go engage Dwight Howard, be physical, make it hard for him to get his hands up. We know PJ Tucker is a physical presence right here. Austin Rivers doing a good job of sealing the Morris twin out of the paint. And they're doubling LeBron James. And as we finish out this sequence right here, what does LeBron James do? He drives into 2 players. He gets stripped. Ball goes out of bounds. It's a turnover going the other way. This is why LeBron James was visibly frustrated in the playoffs, because of these poor lineup decisions. I don't know what assistant coach. I don't know what coach, I don't know who came up with this particular lineup, but it's an extremely poor lineup. And this is the lineup right here where the Rockets will thrive. The Rockets will thrive defensively if you continue to leave a lineup like this on the court. Inconsistent shooter. Danny Green's been proven to make shots here in the corner. All right. But his back, LeBron James' back was here, so he couldn't make that pass. Russell Westbrook also had that passing lane covered. This is Rondo's responsibility to get this pass and make shots. But it all comes down to the fact, does LeBron James trust you making that shot? And Rajon Rondo showed us quite clearly that in 25 minutes of play, that's not a shot he's comfortable taking right now. I think Frank Vogel needs to make a lot of changes. I think he needs to go back to what he was doing in the Portland series, rely on his shooters, rely on guys like KCP who can get hot and make shots, rely on Kyle Kuzma to come in, defend at an elite level like he did against Portland, and he can also make shots when given the ball. He needs to rely on the players that got him there. Allow Rajon Rondo to play himself back into rhythm as opposed to just forcing him into 25 minutes of play that he was clearly not ready for. I want you guys to, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about this. Let me know what you think about LeBron James. Did he have a right to be visibly frustrated with some of the lineups and rotations that Frank Vogel was implementing in the fourth quarter? Do you think that contributed to the blowout? Because again, with 9 minutes to go and you're only down 12 in the fourth, You know, a 6-0 run can change the game. You know, that's 2 3-pointers. This lineup right here for the Lakers, that's not the lineup that you need in the game right now when you're trying to mount a run in the 4th quarter of the playoffs. Hey, FYF Sports, man. Another great video. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to the video. Stay actively engaged. We appreciate all of you guys who are watching our videos and engaging in our content. Again, make sure you join our Facebook group, NBAGoTalk.com or NBA Goat Talk. Please go join that group. Again, we're going to be starting our live debate soon, so you don't want to miss out on that as well. So make sure you get signed up on there. So when you do come into our live debates, you're eligible to be a winner for any of the prizes that we're offering that day. But FYF Sportsman, another great game breakdown video. Hopefully the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James and Frank Vogel can get it together today. We will see. And FYF Sports will be back after the game is over with the game highlights.